Yes, we are live. What's going on? Most likely, for those who are hearing this right now, you are hearing it later on because you are watching the replay. Welcome to Monday Mindset. Um, Monday Mindset is a time where I want to come together and just discuss our mindset, discuss some mentalities, discuss what God might be doing with you, where you are with your own personal life. And I'll be sharing where I am also in the hopes that that might minister to you. You might gain a new perspective. You might gain a new understanding. Really, it's just like a live where there's not much of a kind of like the Bible study where we're focused on a specific topic and we're honing in on a specific teaching. This one is a little bit more open and kind of gives us the opportunity for us to discuss different things and to see where we go with that. So I want to give everybody a minute to come in. I don't want to rush. I want to give people a little bit of time so that we can then get started. So let me turn down this music a little bit. Um, yeah, that looks good. One of the things that I've been processing lately is when you are going through different times and different seasons with God. And as you're going through those different processes, you're just like, you're at the same time you're learning, you are invested in what God is calling you to do, for example. You are committed to wanting to become closer to Jesus and to wanting to be who He's called you to be, and yet at the same time you're experiencing difficulty. This is something that I've been like wondering about lately because how do we find the balance between um, when God is calling us to something and when God is drawing us, drawing our hearts to something, and we're finding difficulty in achieving that thing. I'll give you an example. Um, for me, I just been feeling lately like God really, really, really is calling me to live a healthier lifestyle. And that process has been grueling. You know, you think about it, it's simple, but it's not easy. It's simple in the sense that if you want to be healthier, you eat healthier foods, you become more active, you you eliminate non-healthy foods or you limit them. You work on your mindset towards food and your relationship with food, and through that process, things should get better. And while that's relatively simple, at the same time, I'm realizing how difficult that can be. You know, I think so many people go through similar things. Um, they want to commit to God's purpose for their life, or they want to lose weight, or they want to become more financially responsible, is the fancy word. They want a better job. They want to be a better parent. They want to be a better husband or wife. And as they commit to wanting to do those things, as they try to live up to those calls or promises or desires that they have, they find out that it's hard. Has anybody else ever been there? You find out how difficult it can be to commit. And I don't know if you've ever found yourself wanting to be something and finding it difficult to be that very thing, to live up to that specific type of lifestyle. Whether you have felt like there's something inside of you that is demanding more, and you're realizing that you just don't have that more to give sometimes. And it can become extremely discouraging. You can get yourself caught up in and through that process and feel like you will never measure up. But what we don't realize is that the process of becoming more, the process of achieving things in our life is only achieved with a process of failure and recommitting. You see, if you let yourself get bogged down, you let yourself get to the point where you think, I'm never going to be able to do this because I keep failing, then yeah, you're going to lose. Yeah, you're going to fall away in the process because your commitment isn't there. But if you find yourself in a moment of failure, where maybe you broke a promise to yourself, maybe you broke a promise to God, maybe you broke a promise that you made to your kids, maybe you broke a promise that you made to your wife or to your husband, and you let that take control over your whole self. And it's not something that we do consciously. It's something that we just day by day do. We just one day we're just like, oh, I didn't do it today. Another day goes by. I'll try tomorrow. I'll try Monday. And we keep on talking about how we're going to try to do that thing that we've been wanting to do for so long. And sometimes we muster up the courage and the strength to give it another shot. And what happens? We fail again. You see, all of us, we kind of have this mentality where we want to have this big breakthrough. We want to be able to just like boom, it happens, and we see the power of God move in, and we see that we really do have worth inside of us, and it's this big huge wow moment, and we're happy. Oh, I can do this now. I can commit to this now. I'm good enough now. And we try for a few days, a few weeks, maybe a few months, and we mess up, and then we give up again. But those big moments aren't going to come unless you are able to fail and fail and fail again and recommit and recommit and recommit. Today's Monday mindset is you need to recommit. Each of you listening will have a different thing or reason to recommit to. Each of you, I want you to take a second to think about promises that you made to yourself. Let's start with ourselves. That's the easiest one. You know what? Let's go a step before promises. I want you to think about a desire that you have in your heart that you gave up on. Maybe you're like me where you have this desire to be healthier. For me, I want to be healthier for my kids. For me, I want to be healthier so that I can run with them, so that I can live a long life. I want to be healthy for those reasons. So I want you to think, don't think about a promise, think about a desire that you have, something that you've been wanting to achieve for you. Maybe you want to lose weight, like I said. Maybe you want to get a better job. Maybe you want to take a step towards your dream. Maybe there's been something that you've been really wanting to stand up for yourself about. Maybe you've been really wanting to deepen your relationship with God. Maybe there's something there that has just been a desire that has been rumbling under the surface, that has been there. It's constant, it never leaves, but you do everything in your power to avoid it because you feel like it's not attainable. And let's stop. Let's stop for a second, and I want you to think about that desire that you have. I want you to think I want you to think about the times that you tried and you failed. I want you to think about the times that that desire rose up and you gained the courage to try to be that thing, to do that thing, to try that thing. And maybe you failed, or maybe things didn't go at like you expected them to, or maybe somebody laughed at you. And look, maybe somebody looked at you and said, what, gave you this look like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to do that? And I want you to take those thoughts of failure and sit with them. You see, the main problem that we have is that we're not able to sit. We are not able to sit with our negative emotions and let them pass. Sit with those negative emotions that have told you you're going to fail. Sit with them. Sit with those anxious thoughts that you have that tell you that you'll never make it. Sit with those negative thoughts that you have that come from all of those people that look at you crazy when you try to dream. Sit with them and then tell them to leave. Because if you are ever going to act on these desires that you have in your heart, the desire to get a better job, to act on your dreams, to lose weight, to get closer to God, whatever it is, you will have to be comfortable with failing and recommitting. I know that this sounds really practical. And I told you that Monday Mindset is going to be very practical. This is not Bible study. We may get into the word, we may not. I may talk alone, I may bring a guest on. Some of you might be watching right now. You might say, hey, I want to pop on and say something. That may happen when we're doing Monday Mindset. But what I want you to realize is that this is not a thing where we're going to have like this whole crazy discourse. No, we're going to be real practical here. And I'm bringing practical for a reason because we need to be able to have these practical thoughts and make practical commitments. Make practical commitments. Make small commitments to yourself. I read this quote that absolutely blew my mind, and it said, "You will go to a job every single day. You will commit to a job and be on time every single day. 9 a.m. you have to be there. You are there at 9 a.m. You leave at 5 p.m. You clock out for your lunch. Every single day you do your job. You're a diligent worker. You do what needs to be done. You report well to your staff. You're good to work with. You are all of these things. But the moment it comes to one of your dreams, the moment that it comes to you doing something for you, the moment that it comes to you committing to losing the weight, I keep using that example because it's my example. The moment that it comes to you committing to your business, committing to your dream, committing to doing what God told you to do, committing to being more intentional about your relationship with God, committing to being a better parent and not resorting to the ways that your parents used to do it because it's easier, committing to all of the things that are inside of you that you have as a desire to be better. The moment that it comes to that, you can't commit. You can't commit. You will show up every day on time for your job. You will show up every day with a commitment to whatever thing it is that you sign your name on because you are accountable to another person. But you can't be accountable to yourself. So today's Monday mindset that I want to submit to you. That maybe God is speaking to some of you today. Maybe this is something that's ministering to you, or maybe it's something that you're able to take on and act upon. Today's Monday mindset is that if there's anything that you desire, any promise you have made to yourself, to God, or to others, if there's something that you want to be or do and you have been unable to do it, you will have to become comfortable with failing and recommitting. And on top of that, I believe there's another level to this, because some of you, you're just going to have to take that today and you're going to have to chew on that. Some of you are just going to have to be able to commit to that and say, you know what, I'm going to commit to the idea that I need to be able to become comfortable with failing and recommitting. But there are others of you who need to commit to a dream, a desire, a passion, a call that you let go of, and you need to recommit now. I firmly believe that in my heart, that there are some of you that are listening today that God is saying, time is of the essence. Enough is enough. I placed that dream inside of you. I gave you that desire. I gave you that passion. And I gave you the skill set to be able to carry it out, even though you don't believe that you can. I almost said santo after that one. That's wow. God says He has given you the skill set that you think you lack before you have even begun. The problem is that you have been reluctant to begin because you think it's okay to cheap out on yourself. I see you, Iralma. Amen. Can't give up on what God has called you to. You can't. You can't give up on what God has called you to. And I'm telling you, this is why I want Monday mindsets to be very practical. Okay. The reason why I want Monday mindsets to be very practical is because we have to be able to have these simple rules for life that guide us. You have to be able to say, like, listen, I'm gonna commit to this and do the work to be able to get it, and do the work that's necessary to be able to get there. Because if not, you're just going to keep struggling. You're just going to keep trying to do all of this stuff and not getting there, because time will pass us by. When we think that when we focus so much on the failure, when we focus so much on, yeah, I want to do that, but you know what? I don't have what I need. I need to get this first. I need to be able to do this first. And you know what? I feel like, you know what? I don't have enough time, or I feel like I'm tired and all of this stuff. Bro, we're all tired. We all tired. I keep using this example because it's the most pertinent one to me. And I'm telling you, I'm saying this to you guys because I've been saying it to myself this weekend. I keep using the example of being healthier and losing weight because it's real to me. I hurt my knee years ago. That was years ago. I can't keep using that excuse. I can't keep looking back at that moment and feeling sorry for myself that I hurt my knee, that I lost 100 pounds before, and I was healthy and I was doing great and my athleticism was going through the roof, and then I hurt my knee and I gained all the weight back. I can't live like that, because I'm going to be constantly having this desire in my heart to be healthier for my family, to be healthier for me, to be healthier to glorify God. And then every day passes by and I'm just like, okay, I'll try next time. I'll try next time. Or I commit to it and I make progress and I fail. And now I let more and more time pass. No, God has given you what is necessary. God has given you what is necessary for you to be able to complete what He has called you to do. And I believe that God has called me to be healthy. So the only reason that I'm not living healthy right now, the only reason I haven't lost all the weight again is because I have to recommit. And so I have this moment of transparency and vulnerability with you guys in hopes that some of you might be able to think about some things that you've given up on. In hopes that some of you might be able to think of some things that God put in your heart that you stopped dreaming about. In hopes that there's some things that God will begin to rise up in your heart right now and bubble up in your heart that He's saying, I know you're tired. I know you feel inadequate. I know you feel like you can't do this. I know you feel like you're an imposter the last time that you tried. I know that people have been looking at you crazy, but you are not crazy. You are not broken. You are not too tired. The word tells us, come to me, all of you who are weary, and I will give you rest. So, who of you today that is listening, any of you today that are listening, that need to take the step to recommit to something in your life that God is bringing to your heart right now? I want to encourage you to do it. The main thing about the process of failure and recommitting is that a lot of us are able to do it. The key for us getting there is how quickly can we close the gap between the time of our failure and our recommitment. If you can fail and say, I'm not going to let this continue, I'm going to recommit right now, you're in a good place. A lot of us, we underestimate how much we can accomplish. We overestimate how much we can accomplish in a day, a few weeks, a few months, a year. We underestimate how much we can accomplish in 2, 4, 6, 10 years. We underestimate it because we're so focused on what's happening now. And then before you know it, all this time has passed and we didn't do what we wanted to do. Do you want to live the life that God has called you to live? I'm telling you today that it's possible if you would recommit. Amen. Guys, thank you so much for being here for today's Monday Mindset. You guys are amazing. You are wonderful. Thank you for the comments. For those of you who commented, for those of you who stayed, you guys are wonderful. I hope that you can leave with the mindset of committing to the idea of recommitting after any of your failures. Because God has exceedingly and abundantly more for you than you could even imagine. All right, guys. Thank you guys for those of you commenting right now. I'll keep it up. God bless you. I'm glad that you guys received it. Make sure that you guys stay tuned. Tomorrow's new episode of the podcast goes up on YouTube. Wednesday, we have Bible study, and a new Valley of the Roic episode will be out Friday. God bless you guys. Have an amazing week. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.